Hello friends, I am Sanyukta Saxena back again. I am a certified Zentangle teacher, and in today's session we will be continuing the pattern striping. We have already done a session on the pattern striping, and today is a continuation of the session. We will be drawing another tile using the pattern striping and maybe a few more tangles to go along, right? So continuing our journey. So this is the tangle striping, and this is the tile that we drew in the last session, right? And I also showed you a simple string like this, right? So we'll be using this string today to draw the pattern striping. You can see the string clearly. Yeah. So I'm going to be inking the string and talking about the pattern while we draw, reiterating those facts again as we draw our tile, right? So two important things to note while you're drawing the pattern striping. An exciting string or an interesting string would add to the look of the pattern striping. However, it can be drawn in almost any shape or inside any space. But ensure that you stripe the different sections of the string in different directions to get a better look, right? So if we remember these two things, and then shading adds a lot to the look of the pattern, right? To the look of the pattern striping. So this is my string, right? Kind of a puffle or a what we call the tangle cruffle. And now I'm going to add stripes inside. So I'm going to be changing directions every time. So starting from here, right? So trying that the lines be equidistant, but even if they are not, it's okay. So you can try different directions, you can experiment how it would look if you change the direction of the stripes. Maybe some directions add more to the look and some do not as much. Right, so explore, experiment. So I have started in a way which just came into my mind right now, so striping it this way, and we'll see how the end result is. Right, now when I move on to the next portion, I'll ensure that the stripes do not look an extension of the already existing stripes. So I've changed the direction, right? So keep moving your tile so that your hand is in the comfort position. So you can have straight line stripes, you can have curved line stripes. So I'm now going to stripe it like this. Right, just taking a cue from the last one and deciding on the direction. Right, you can stripe it in a different fashion. There are so many ways you can stripe the space. So use this string and try some other way to stripe it, and then shade it and see how the look differs, right? Right. Again, I'm going to change the direction and stripe it this way. Right. So I'll finish these three also in the same fashion. So this is how the striped string looks like, right? So I'm now going to be inking it. So you already know the process of inking. I'm going to ink alternate sections. The initial sections are small, so I'm going to use my O1 only, right? So you can also leave a highlight if you wish, for example here, but I don't know why with striping I prefer the white charcoal, but you can leave a highlight. So I am now in the process of inking the stripes, the second step after drawing your lines. Takes time, but it's absolute pleasure to watch the tile go black from white and how the design just pops up with the inking. So take your time, go slow, stretch, relax your hand, take deep breaths and keep inking at your own pace. Right, so we can now, I think, pick up the broader nib. So I'm going to take my 08 right? So you can see the drama. So I'm going to ink all these sections in the same way, right? So I finished inking almost all the sections and now I'm on the last section. Just a bit left. So take your time and enjoy the process, because process is all that matters in Zentangle. Believe me, the end result is always beautiful and a treat to your own eyes. Right, so we have finished inking. So it is up to you now. What do you want to do with the rest of the tile? You want to add some patterns, you want to leave it as it is. So I'm going to be doing a simple pattern here, probably divide it into 2 or 3 sections. Right, and add the pattern betweed. Very simple pattern, so not doing much exercise here, just keeping it simple. Drawing lines from both the sides, right, and adding little weight at the end of the line. I'm moving my tile as per my comfort position. So you can also draw between where these lines start from the same point, right? So that's also one of the ways to draw wet weed. So striping is a drama tangle, so you don't really need too many tangles as a support. It's in itself is sufficient, right? So going to now start from the other side, the second section. Right, doing the same exercise, lines coming from both the sides and a little weight at the end of the line. But it has this nice knitted look. Right, so one more section to go, same way. If you can synchronize these lines, good. If you can't, it's okay. Right, so I will do the same exercise on the other side also. So I'm on the last section on the other side. Following the same sequence. Right, so I think the small portion is left for striping, so I think we should be going like this. Right, so I'm just going to ink 2-3 more sections which are left. And then we will move on to shading our tile. Right, so I'm now going to shade my tile. So again, intersections, highlight them. You have bold inking involved here, so be careful. Make sure that the ink has dried up. So I'm adding on one side and the intersection. Right, again adding on the intersection and on one side. Again adding on the intersection and on one side. It's an interesting string here, so you have a lot of fun with striping if the string is kind of exciting, right? So I'm now going to blend. Bring it towards the center but not cover the center. Right. So we always add graphite to intersections where lines are going over, under, to highlight those sections. Right. So you can almost make out by now how shading adds a lot to the pattern. This simple line work. Right. So they almost look like folds inside each other. Right. And then on the betweed you can either highlight these divisions or you can put some graphite at the center. Right. You can add it to it both ways. I'm just going to highlight these dividers, right? Right, so do the same exercise on this side also. And then smudge. Pull it towards the center, but ensure that you don't cover the entire center. Right. I'm now going to pick up my white charcoal and highlight the sections where I have not added graphite. Right. I generally use my hands to smudge or smoothen out chalk, but you can use your different stump, not the usual one which you use for graphite. Right. So highlight the sections where you have not added chalk. It will add to the look of the tile. Right. Right, and probably the center Again, where you have not added graphite, you can add a highlight if you wish. Right, so that's another example of the pattern striping. We are now going to close our tile. I'm going to initial it somewhere here probably, right, and then sign and date it. Right, so take a moment to appreciate your tile. Such a beautiful pattern, simple to draw, and what a dramatic look. And we'll meet again in the next few sessions. We'll be drawing some of the new patterns that I've posted on my Facebook page, and we'll be drawing some tiles incorporating those patterns and a few others, right? So catch me in my next video. Thank you, stay safe, bye bye.